god, I'm like nervous now. I'm like, I can't speak in front of you.
3, 2, 1, action.
Hello.
I'm Marina. I'm from Spain. I'm actually from the west of Spain, from a super small city in Spain called Zamora. And how I ended up in London, I moved here last year. I've been here for a year and a bit now. And I moved here from Dublin because I was working in Dublin, and my current company, I asked for the visa, they sponsored me, and I'm here now.
Oh wow, so you moved from, say again, what is it? Zamora.
Zamora, yeah.
I wouldn't say that. I didn't learn Spanish in Spain, so it'd be like Zamora, I guess, for me.
Well, that works.
So you moved from there to Dublin and then to London.
I moved for university to Madrid, and then I studied abroad in Copenhagen, and I also studied abroad, like a program abroad in the US, and then I went back to Copenhagen. I studied all over, and then my last year of university, I was doing an internship for the company that I'm currently working for, so I moved to Dublin with that company once I graduated.
I see, okay.
And I was working full-time in Dublin, and that's when, like after a year, well, it was not even a year, it was 10 months, I asked for the visa, and then I moved to London, and now I'm here.
How do you compare the two in terms of, obviously the accent is very different.
Yeah. I was not used to the accent in Dublin, so the first day that I landed, I couldn't understand the taxi driver, which was crazy. Dublin was great, and it's the tech hub, because I work in tech.
Wow.
So it's basically the tech hub of Europe. So all of the young people who work in tech go to Dublin because that's where all of us are. I really liked it there, but I would say that I was looking for a bigger city, and I've always wanted to live in London. So that's why I was really pushing to come to London.
Why have you always wanted to live in London?
Well, funny story.
What is it about London that you love?
Funny story here. There's not a real reason. I just got obsessed with London when I was 13 because I loved One Direction.
One Direction?
It's very funny, but that's the way that I learned English, actually. Yeah. Like, I didn't know English before One Direction, because in Spain we do study English, but it's really low. That, like, the level is really low. So I became obsessed with One Direction, and that's why I wanted to learn English, because I wanted to understand what they were saying in music, in their songs or in the interviews. So I just learned English because of them, and I was like, one day I will live in London just like them. And that's it. Like, there's not a real reason. And then London as a city is pretty cool. Like, you can literally find anything to do here.
I think a lot of the One Direction lot aren't actually from London, which is interesting.
I know. I was a big fan. I know where they're from.
I thought you were going to say I was a bit disappointed when I found out when I went to London.
No.
They're mostly from, like, up north.
All of them live here. So
yes, Hampstead and, you know.
Yes, yeah. Hampstead. Funny enough, I actually bumped into Harry Styles when I moved to London.
What?
Which was a very full circle kind of thing, because I literally moved to London, and like a month after, I bumped into Harry Styles in, where was it, in Primrose Hill. And
what?
I was like, what is life right now? Like, it's crazy. I love it here. The amount of people that I've met, that it's just so random. What you find in London, I don't think you can find anywhere else.
Oh, that's so lovely. And you said you've been here a year in London.
So I moved to London in June last year.
Okay.
But I don't count it from June. I count it from September, because I spent my entire summer in Spain. So, so let's say a year, because it's September now. So a year in London, yeah.
Oh, well, congrats. Anniversary, kind of.
Thank you, yeah.
When you moved to London, was there something that you kind of learnt about Brits that perhaps you didn't know before you moved here?
It was more like getting used to the culture and getting used to the lifestyle here, and getting used to being alone in a place where you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
Something that I learned quite quickly as well is that you're from a different country. Everybody has their own groups of friends. So like actually making friends and getting into the groups of people of Brits is hard, because everybody has their own groups of people. And I'm not saying it's specifically from Brits, I'm just saying in general. I also know people who are international who moved to Spain. In Spain, I have all my group of friends. So obviously, like, it's really hard to incorporate someone into your group of friends. So I would say that, but I wouldn't say that specifically from British people.
It seems like it's more a result of moving abroad, like the idea of trying to find your people.
Exactly, yeah. I'm Spanish, and I am used to the Southern European kind of like culture. So I would say that we are very open there, and like we are very close to each other, physically and not physically. That's something that I learned as well when I first went abroad to Copenhagen or to the US. Like, people tend to stay a bit like farther away from each other, not physically, I mean. That was something that I already knew, so that's why it was not a shock when I came here. But in general, I think as Southern Europeans, we're very welcoming, we're very warm with each other, and here it's keeping a bit of a distance.
I've had a bit of an issue with, well, I say an issue, but like just a confusion, let's say. It's more like with Italians and Spanish, but mostly Italians here, same sort of like that.
Yeah.
I was going to say handsy, but that's not the word. For example, when you say hello, they kiss you on the cheek.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it seems to be always one cheek. I think this side. I just don't know. But then I've like almost kissed someone on the lips because we both leant in. It seems that we're really awkward Brits at like not knowing how to actually say hello.
Well, it happens to me the opposite here, because in Spain it's super easy. Like when you meet someone in Spain, regardless of if you've met them before or not, you just go for the 2 kisses. It's like a social norm. You're going to do that. The problem here is I never know what to do.
Yep.
Because if you're meeting someone who is from Italy, you're probably going to go for the 2 kisses, but they do the 2 kisses the opposite way that we do it. So we start from the left cheek of the other person while they start from the right. So it's happened to me a lot of times that we've been like almost kissing each other.
Rom-com.
Exactly. But then if you meet someone else who is not Southern European, of course, either they go for a hug or you go for a handshake. It's really weird because sometimes I really don't know what to do. So I'm just waiting for them to do something. But in Spain, it's very easy. You just know that you're going to have to do the double kissing thing.
I just wonder where else it's confusing. Where else in the world is there like not a kind of official way to say hello? I'm still sort of confused by it because like even Brits among themselves don't really know.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, let's just say away and let's stick with that one, just like we do.
Like, hello.
Exactly. Like, not physical touch, great, but then let's establish that.
I almost have to be sort of like, I'm going to give you a hug now, actually, just to announce what I'm going to do.
I mean, that's a good one. That's a good one. That really solves the issue.
If someone was thinking of moving to the UK, what would I need to know before I moved?
Something that a lot of my friends have asked me lately, because obviously they like London as well, and they are like, oh, I want to move to London as well. Brexit really changed everything.
Yeah.
And the visa situation is really complicated now. So I do know a lot of people who are like, oh, I've been looking for flats in London because they think it's just as easy as in the rest of the European Union. Just look for a flat, move to a place, and then just start working in whatever you find. But obviously that's not the case anymore. So I would say before even considering moving to London, like really, really do a research on if you're going to be able to and what kind of visas you can get. Because if you're working, you cannot just easily just move to London and then find a job. It's more like you're going to actually have to get sponsored and you're going to have to find a job outside of the UK.
Is that the key difference between what it was before and now? Like before, was it just you could move to London or England and just get a job and that was it?
Exactly. Before it was just like the rest of the European Union. Actually, my 2 aunts, they in the 90s, they moved to London. And they moved to London, they were working as bartenders or cleaners in hotels. It was just as easy as moving to London and then finding whatever job you could find. Now that's not the case anymore. You need a visa, and to get a visa, you need to get sponsored by a company. There's a lot of requirements for like salary requirements, etc. So you cannot move here and work as a bartender anymore. That's not the case anymore, because obviously bars, they're not going to sponsor someone because the sponsorship costs money, etc., etc. So it's only qualified jobs. So like it really is a pain, because that's what a lot of people did, especially to learn English. And I know a lot of people who have done that, or a lot of people who are no longer coming to the UK because they can't, so they are going to Ireland. So there's a lot of people who go to Dublin and do exactly that. Just find accommodation and try to find a job in whatever they can. And then that's the way of them like learning English and like, getting into the English environment. And I know a lot of people who are going to Australia now to do that as well, because the easy decision was the UK, but you can no longer do that in the UK. So, which is a shame, honestly.
Australia, New Zealand, so much further away. Than the choice of coming to London. And also, I suppose Dublin is kind of pretty similar to London in a lot of ways. I mean, for me, when I went, I just remember thinking it seemed like it was just another area in London, the way sort of the flora, fauna are all quite similar. But just, I thought that people were a lot friendlier.
Oh yeah, 100%.
In Dublin.
100%.
It probably is very different to Dublin in terms of mannerisms and things like that. Maybe not so much the drinking culture. That seems pretty similar.
Irish people are hardcore drinkers. Yes, the Guinness.
The Guinness.
The Guinness.
Did you do the Guinness factory?
I actually did not, because funny enough, I don't like beer. So
neither do I, but I was just like, I'll do it and I'll pretend to like it for that one day. And I was like, nah, never again.
No. I gotta say though, among all of the beers, Guinness, I would say, is the one that I like the most because for some reason it does taste like coffee for me.
I kind of get what you mean. It's got like a strong sort of like espresso-y.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's a beer to me, but after a few sips, I'm like, no, I can't. This is huge. I suppose there are other things in pubs.
Well, cider. That's where I stick with.
I can't stand cider.
Really? What do you drink then?
I don't know. I'm quite a pain in pubs because I'll like go up to the bartender and I'll be like, so what do you think if I'm feeling like this? And it's a very much a conversation. Right. So if there's a bartender who doesn't want to talk to anyone, they're like, I don't know, what do you want? And I'm like, but then other people, for example, I went to the Edinburgh Castle, which is a place in Camden, and there was a bartender who was so friendly and helpful, and she was like, I can make you this, I'm really good at cocktails, like whatever you fancy. I love it when you like strike up a conversation with someone. Nice. I mean, I'm just getting into kind of lighter beers now. The drunkenness is quite a jolly drunkenness, whereas like for gin, I feel like you get an emotional drunk. I don't know if you've like also noticed this, but for me, having drank a lot in my years, certain drinks produce certain types of drunks.
For me, it's more like certain drinks produce certain types of hangovers.
Yes, true, that too.
I think the drunk stage for me is always the same. Wine hangovers, the worst ones. By far.
Yeah, which is so interesting because usually if you're going to do it sensibly, you do it with a meal, right?
Yeah.
So if you kind of like are a bit maybe dehydrated or you don't eat enough, that's when it kind of hits you.
And I gotta say, this is something that I was very surprised in the UK because in Spain, obviously, like our schedules are completely different. So like we have breakfast at your normal time, then we have lunch at like 2 to 3 p.m.
Yep.
And then we have dinner from 9 till 11 p.m.
Yeah.
But every time we go for a drink, we always have dinner before. It's not like here where you just go for drinks and then suddenly forgotten that you didn't have dinner. For us, it's like pretty much we always have dinner and then we have drinks, which is very surprising that here, like people do after works and then they just like carry on. They never eat food. For us, even if we're doing an after work, at some point we stop to have dinner. That's something that I was very surprised when I moved to the UK.
Especially when I was in my earlier 20s, that would happen where you drink loads and then you'd be like, oh, let's go get like some meal that isn't very healthy because we need to, line the stomach before the next day or just throw it up afterwards. That is the drunk culture being bad here.
It's something that was a shock for me. And even with my Spanish and Italian friends, whenever I'm just with them, we always eat. But if we are in an international kind of group with other British people or like Irish people, we never end up having food. It's just drinking. It's like, okay.
It's not the most sensible way to live life, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
I think about it.
I don't think so either, yeah.
I think we should be more like the Spanish and the Italians of this world. Have you picked up any kind of British mannerisms, or do you say certain things that you wouldn't have said before now that you've lived in the UK? Or act in a certain way that you would never have acted before?
I am way more polite now.
Okay.
But so hear me out here. So in Spain, or I would say like in Italy or like in the Southern European countries, we are very direct. And that doesn't mean that we are not polite or we are rude to each other. It's just that that's the way that we talk.
Right.
While here, everybody puts please and thank you in every sentence.
Yep.
And I think at the beginning, I did not do that because obviously that was just the way that I spoke. So people might have thought that I was very rude when I first moved here, when I first started living in English-speaking countries. Now that's something that I've picked up. And I even say it in Spanish to the point that my parents were like, can you stop? Because for us, it's not normal. Let's say that we are having lunch with our family and you want someone to pass you something. You would never say, could you please... Like, it's more like, pass me that.
Would you say, for example, because I've gotten into this, wondering whether I just say, like, gracias too much as well? Like, if someone passes me something, do you then say thank you? Or
no,
do you
we
just...
do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
We do.
Okay. I was wondering about that.
The way that you ask about it, it's completely different.
May I please have some water?
Exactly. That's, like, too much. And that's something that I've always also spoken with my friends who are Spanish or Italian. We really think that people are not that polite. It's like a bit fake sometimes. Like they don't mean it. While for us, when we say thank you or please, we really mean it. While here is more like everybody does it, so you have to do it, but it's not like you're really meaning it.
It's overused. You know, like for example, the classic case of you're walking in the street, someone bumps into you and you go, oh, sorry. Like, it's almost like it's a different definition. It's like you're saying, oh, I'm actually here, by the way. It's almost like that kind of passive-aggressive sorry.
Yes.
Which it shouldn't be used in that context. It's just almost reflex in a lot of cases.
Yeah. almost it has lost the real meaning of it because it's so overused, which I'm not saying it's bad, just saying that was a cultural shock as well. Like the amount of politeness that I have to put in every sentence is very different to what I do or what I say in Spanish.
Yeah, it's like there's these expectations of doing certain things, but it's not necessarily sincere.
Exactly, yeah.
Ugh. Moving on to food.
Okay.
So I've been to a few tapasy restaurants.
Okay.
As a Spanish person, when you look at the tapas restaurants in this country, do you think this isn't necessarily the same as what I get at home? Okay.
So the first weekend that I moved to London, my parents came here, and I obviously didn't know the areas of London. I didn't know the restaurants of London, so we were just wandering around. And we went to a place in Soho, and we saw, because my parents are very traditional, so they don't really are into getting Indian food, or like they just want to stick with what they know. We went to Soho, and there was this Spanish restaurant that we bumped into there, and they were like, let's get into it. Worst choice that we ever made. We paid a stupid amount of money for something that was not Spanish at all. The quality was so bad, and obviously in Soho. Now I know a few places in London, and I would say that I know a few places that I could recommend for Spanish food, but still, obviously, the big difference is the prices are insane here. Like, they are so inflated compared to the price that we would pay for that in Spain.
Yeah.
You can definitely find Spanish tapas places in London that are good places in terms of the quality and in terms of the flavor.
Oh, do tell.
One called Pizarro.
Oh, in Bermondsey.
In Bermondsey.
Okay, I've been there. We got this thing called a fidua, which is a spaghetti version of paella. 4 dishes is enough if you're going to get the fidua too. And
actually, I brought my parents there the second time that they came.
Yeah.
And they approved it as well. So I would say that if they are parents approved, then that is a real Spanish place. In that same street, I think there's another one called Jose.
Okay.
And it's from the same owners, and the owners are Spanish.
Okay.
The tapas there are really good, and it's like a proper Spanish taberna, very traditional. You see the jamon like hanging from the ceiling. It's great, but again, the prices are inflated. So yesterday, for example, I saw a tortilla for £5, while in Spain you would pay €2 max. So that's the main difference.
You're helping pay towards their rent, I suppose, as well. Like,
yeah.
That's the thing. But that area, I love Bermondsey. Bermondsey Street. I guess you're quite near there.
I live at the very end of Bermondsey Street. That's why I've been to Pizarro a couple of times.
That particular road, Bermondsey Street, doesn't feel like London in the sense that you've got like French restaurants, you've got Spanish restaurants, you've got Italian, and you've got I think it's cobblestones. I'm not sure, but it feels like a nice romantic.
It's probably one of my favorite streets in London. Yeah. And when I moved there, I didn't know that it was there until like probably 2-3 weeks into living in that area that I discovered the street, and I'm like, Jesus, like I literally live like 1 street away.
Also, it's not very full of tourists. There's something about it.
Yeah.
I always think of a Lady and the Tramp, like when they go out on that date, you know, the dogs go out on that date. It just feels like that kind of vibes.
Yeah, it's very local, and that's what I like about it. Like even yesterday there was the Bermondsey Street Festival.
Oh wow.
They do it once a year. Yeah, funny enough.
Who knew?
Just yesterday. And it's just a very local festival where all of the restaurants and stores in the street bring out everything into the street. There's music playing. It really feels like there's a community there. It's great. That's something that I miss in London. Like it really feels like everybody does their own thing. It feels like everybody is pretty independent, and there's not really like a feeling of community and belonging. And that street really helps with that. Like they really help building that community. And there's a lot of groups that are called Bermondsey Street Runners or like something like that.
And it's pretty central, but not like too within the line of fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Soho or like Oxford Circus or something.
Exactly, yeah. And you can walk anywhere from there. So it's great. I love it there.
And finally, is there anything you miss about life in Spain?
I would say what I miss the most is the warmth of people. I would say that I'm used to the Southern European lifestyle and the way that we establish relationships with each other. And I would say here people are way colder in that regard. So I'm not saying that it's really hard to make friends. Like you can definitely make friends, etc. But it's more like the way that relationships flow is completely different.
Based off of my own experience with Brits, people are kind of afraid to be vulnerable, sort of like from the outset.
Yeah.
That there almost has to be like a testy period of banter and, you know, 100%. Making fun and all of this. As a newcomer, even myself, you're like, oh, that wasn't a funny joke. That was actually mean. And you're like, yeah, but this is how we try and press your buttons and things like that. And it's like, okay, well, cool.
I would say that for us, we open up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
In terms of how we are feeling, or if we're having problems and you're my friend and I've met you like 10 times, I'm gonna definitely be telling you about my problems. While I feel here, it takes a while for them to open up to somebody. Once you are part of the group, or once you are really friends with them, they definitely do open up, of course, just like every human being.
Yeah.
But I would say it's way harder for people to open up here.
How would you say that in Spanish? El cariño de something? No? Is that wrong?
El cariño, that's like, I don't know what's the word in English, but yeah, kind of like related with the warm thing, yeah.
I was trying to figure out, like, temperature, warmth, no, that wouldn't be the word to say. No. El calor de la gente.
We actually could say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go.
We
learned something new.
Yeah.
On my Spanish list.
Yes. How is your Spanish going, by the way?
I do speak it.
I mean, to know the word cariño is like advanced, I would say.
I don't know why I don't lead with that more. Like, I'm just kind of like, because I, for example, at work have to use it. Like, and I'm going on a work trip to Spain. I don't know if I told you that.
Oh yeah, you messaged me about that.
Yeah, I know. I was
Where
like, you're
Spanish?
Madrid. So yeah.
Okay, nice. Have you ever been to Madrid before?
Yeah, and
we should have done this interview in Spanish then.
Podríamos hacerlo.
Podríamos haberlo hecho, sí.
Gracias por tu tiempo.
De nada. Muchas gracias por invitarme.
No pasa nada. And all that. Oh my god, I'm like nervous now. I'm like, I can't speak in front of you. This has been Sam and
Marina,
who
is still looking for the best tapas place in London.
Still. There's a place in... Am I talking too loud? There's a place in Battersea called Boqueria. I don't know if you've been there.
No, I have not.
So there we go. There's that. There's also a place called Maison... It's like M-E-S-O-N. Maison de something in Waterloo, and I found that really good.
Maison. Okay, I'll try it.
Maison.
Maison.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Maison is like kind of a restaurant. Like,
oh, well then there we go. I was like, it's not Spanish or French, but it is Spanish, I guess.
Maison, yeah.
That was really good.
I mean, if you have a list, please give it to me.
I definitely do, and I will put it at the bottom of my comments if I find it. If you like the video, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, ask me any questions about Spain, because I have someone to give me the answers, your time in London as well, or anywhere else in the world. Have I exhausted all of the things I wanted to say? Yes, I think I have. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye. Adios.
Adios. Does it have an angle? Because otherwise I don't know how it's gonna get you.
Oh, this will get me.
Ah.